The idea that a child can consent to a sex change, to gender affirming surgery, if you believe that, there's really nothing that you can believe they can't consent to.
But see, the thing is, though, some adults don't even understand what they want to do.
Exactly.
So,
So how can a child?
But see, children, wait a minute, let's not
Planet.
underestimate the power of these kids today, okay? They are very much more educated because they have much more resources and access than we did coming up. So let's be very clear about that.
And they can
and
consent.
When we talk
Who
about
else says that?
I just, again, I don't understand this obsession with others people's children.
Obsession.
Get it together.
I have it together.
The obsession with the conservatives about other people's kids. If it is your child, it is your choice what you do with your kid.
So I've never understood this argument coming from the left whenever people raise the question of children's physical and mental well-being, especially children who are being transitioned to the opposite gender. The pushback is almost always this ridiculous question: why are you obsessed with other people's kids? Why do you care what other people do with their kids? And I don't really know what to make of that question. Like, what are you asking me? Are you asking me why, I'm not okay with a person doing whatever the hell they want to with their kid? Are you asking me, what does that question mean? That question, it's such a trick question made to put you into a position where you're stumbling over your words and you're looking stupid. And it's like, no, I have every right to be concerned with what is happening to another human being who is a member of this community, the community being this collective community, this country. They're members of this country. They are people. They're their own people. And as such, when another person is being harmed in our community, we have this responsibility, this sort of unspoken code to make their harm the concern of everybody else too. When another person is being harmed, it becomes the concern of everyone in the collective. That person could be experiencing harm within the confines of their home, but because they're experiencing this harm, it becomes everyone else's business too. So for the people who ask this really weird question and this sort of question that's supposed to allow them to evade the actual question being posed by the person they're saying this to, this question to me, it's very telling. It says to me that you don't see these children as people, more as property. The property of their parents to experiment on, to do whatever they want with, and that no one else could have anything to say about it. And like I said, being a part of a collective, a community, there is this unspoken rule that when another person is being harmed, you don't just say nothing about it. You don't just do nothing about it. You don't see these children as people enough, people who belong to themselves. So much so that when another person is threatening their personhood, others should come to their defense, but you don't think that that's right. So that tells me that you don't really see these children as their own people, more as things that belong to their parents, and their parents don't own them. As a parent, you have temporary stewardship over your child, but they do belong to themselves. They are their own person, and as such, like all people in this country, they're entitled to being advocated for, protected, defended by others when someone is doing them harm, even if that someone is their parent. Just another side effect of stripping the meaning out of everything and making everything subjective. I don't think the people who are okay with transing kids, chemically castrating children, putting them through sex change operations, having the breasts removed, I don't think they realize how dehumanizing that is, to assume that this child is going to be this one thing that they've decided that they are for the rest of their life, not allowing them the freedom to be a complex human being who is going to change, who is going to become their own person, who's going to make up their mind about who they are, and then change it, and then make it up again, and then change it again. It gives no respect to how complex human beings are and how much we grow and we change. These people don't care about the health of these kids. Because if they did, they would ask themselves, well, what are the long-term repercussions of this? What could that be? We don't have enough data to say for sure if this is something that is okay, if we are possibly harming these children in the long run. We don't have enough evidence, but who cares? We're going to do this anyway. We're going to put these kids through transition anyway, so we can pat ourselves on the back and tell ourselves that we're good people and feel morally superior. That's what this really is about. It's about them. These grown adults are doing this not for the kids, but for themselves. to go back to the main point of that ridiculous question, why are you so obsessed with other children's genitals and other people's kids? That is a last-ditch effort. That's what those types of people who are okay with transing kids, chemically castrating kids, that's what they say when they're running out of arguments and you've got them up against a wall and they, you're asking them all these questions of why they think that it's right and why it's really wrong. And they have nothing else to sort of back up their argument that this should be okay. So this question is like this last ditch effort to make you look stupid and have you say something ridiculous so they can then use you looking stupid to sort of bolster their own ridiculous argument. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents.